review this movie. It was creepy as shit, and it was really good. Go see it. Okay. No, I'll riff this. Basically, yeah, this movie's really good. Hi everyone. It's me, Grant, the movie and TV guy. It's been a good year for movies. Overall. Movies and TVs that we do here. Let's jump right into it. So here, first off, just some housekeeping. So, the movie I'm reviewing today, this afternoon, I was supposed to see last night. I got kind of under the weather. I didn't sleep. So, here's what I'm doing. I'm coming back home to shoot this. I'm going back out again to see a screening of another movie that is night and day to this, and then I'm going to come back and review it, and then tomorrow will be as planned, God willing. Cool? Cool. Alright. What is that movie? So I actually got to be kind of quick here, because I'm going to the screening in about an hour, so, from right now when I'm shooting this. So the movie in question is The Night House. The Night House is directed by David Bruckner, who is work I'm familiar with, but I really want to become familiar with it after this. It stars Rebecca Hall. She plays Beth. Beth is a teacher, I believe, maybe college, but it looked like just from context clues it was high school. They never outright say. But basically, we begin the movie, her coming back from a funeral. She's a young widow. She just lost her husband, Owen. He unfortunately took his own life. And basically what happened is that she's clearly grieving pretty hard, understandably, lost the love of her life, and is basically, she starts to hear strange noises, including things that give weird context, like she hears gunshots in the distance, and he committed suicide by gunshot. Things like seeing within the curves of the house structure seemingly an invisible head that moves, tilts, where it's like a faceless invisible thing. She's seeing weird things, and she's having weird dreams where she's going to a house that's backwards, where there's another her in it, as well as a bunch of women who are seemingly being attacked by her husband. She's getting texts from his phone that claim to be from him, even though he's dead, and those weird stuff is happening. Is it all her grief manifesting, or is something supernatural going on, or is it another thing? That's all I'll say. I don't want to get too into it, because this movie is hard to review. So let me put it this way. The Night House is pretty terrifying, and I'll say this, first off, do not watch the trailer if you have any designs on seeing The Night House, and if you've seen as many movies as I have that have had the trailer in front of it, I'm sorry, it's a little too late. But basically, this is not a typical haunted house movie in the way that you think like something like The Conjuring is. This is really an allegorical psychological horror film, where you really are left with an implication of what is it? Is it supernatural or not? And the big thing of this, and I haven't even mentioned her yet for a very reason, it's a big chunk of what makes this movie weird. Rebecca Hall. Rebecca Hall is one of those actors who is so, you see her and you're like, oh yeah, her, but she's never really she's been good in movies, great in some movies. I loved her in Christine. It was fantastic. And one of my favorite movies of the decade that just ended that nobody's... Professor Marston in the Wonder Women. She's a really phenomenal actress. She also was in Godzilla vs. Kong, was her last movie I saw her in. She does those roles too. She was also in Iron Man 3. She was Maya. She's fantastic in this movie, and this movie does something I really think is hard to do and very rarely done in mainstream cinema, which is portraying grief how it feels. Now, I've gone through my own personal struggles with grief, but much like the work of Mike Flanagan, especially the Haunting series, dual series, this movie really knows how it feels about grief, and they do such a good job of setting up what she's going through scenes that are not of a supernatural variety, that are just kind of setup scenes. So there's like a scene, she's a teacher, like I mentioned, where that mom, everyone's had that mom in their class. If you don't, it's your mom, who's the grade grubber, whose kid doesn't try hard enough and basically goes in there to tattle on the teacher and try to get a grade up. Basically, there's a scene where she's talking to one of those moms, and straight up, the mom is giving her that condescending thing of like, oh, well, you were out the day you were supposed to retake the test. And she's just like, I was out because my husband died. Like, she just straight up tells her, like, my husband shot himself in the head. That's why I was out, and I didn't sorry if I didn't let's just give your son an A. That's what you wanted, right? Just turns the grade like, this is, yeah. That's how it feels. You may not say what she said, but you feel what she feels. Putting on a brave face sometimes is not enough. It takes one person being obnoxious when you're really going through it to make you just go, like, out of character angry with someone, and this movie gets that. I love this movie. I want to see it again. I was in the theater with one other guy, and we had an amazing talk afterwards. We kind of bonded over being the only two people in this movie. We talked about what we thought it meant, and then we also talked about the Green Knight, because Green Knight's also freaking great and full of allegory. If you have not seen it in the theater, it is also streaming now on Vudu. Go check it out. But basically, this movie's fantastic. That's all I'm going to say about it. I'm just going to leave it there, because I feel like if I say any more, it's going to spoil too much. Just go see The Night House. It's not doing that well. It's coming out on a weekend where there's a lot of competition from movies from weeks before, and even this weekend with things like Paw Patrol. Go check that movie out. It's really worth your time. It's not an easy watch, but it's a very good film. Or just ignore me like a lot of you probably do with 9 Days and go see Suicide Squad again. At least it's a good movie. Suicide Squad is a good movie. If you're gonna go with the less allegorical alternative, that's a good one to go with. Okay, so The Night House, I'm gonna do it 5 stars. This is a really good year for movies. It's just this summer alone. Like, I got into like a comment chain conversation where there was a guy, I think it was on the weirdest, it was like the Venom 2 trailer. He was like, oh, finally this is coming out. This summer has been a dead zone. There's been nothing good. And like this one commenter's like, Pig, The Green Knight, 9 Days. And I was like, thank you. And the Sparks Brothers and Zola. And if I saw it then, The Night House, Stillwater Lake. It's been a great summer for movies. Not a lot of big blockbusters. Even there's been a few there, like In the Heights and Fireplace 2 and Suicide Squad. Like, it's been a good summer. Like, every year has like plenty of good movies. You just gotta find them. This year proves it. All right. 5 out of 5 stars. Close the book on it. Let's talk about some trailer trash before we head out. I also have lunch that's just kind of getting cold as I do this. So, we got okay. These are the ones. The Jesus music. I think we talked about this with Space Jam. It's been popping up in the weirdest movies the two have seen. It's a documentary about Christian rock. It has like Amy Grant in it. I'm not a very religious fellow, but that's not to say that it's impossible for a movie with religious themes or even a religious film to be, good or interesting. Listen, if it plays in Edwardsville this year, I'm gonna check it out because I'm basically checking out everything. I've already seen everything that's open in my town this year just for this channel. So. Just about, other than the ones I'm still seeing this weekend. So yeah, I'll check that one out. Jackass Forever. I'm getting a little sick of the trailer, but I'm so excited that I kind of don't care. We talked about it before. It's going to be hard to review, but I'm excited. Venom, speaking of Venom, Let There Be Carnage. This is the new one that we got in front of Don't Breathe 2, also. Which is, honestly, I'm going to say, getting worse and worse for me. I think I dropped it down to a 2, either in the video, maybe, or at least on Letterboxd. What a disappointment. Not in the ways that count, not in the ways that, are the horror thing. But yeah, Venom, although Venom looks good. First one was nothing spectacular, but it's an enjoyable watch. I'll definitely check out the sequel. This one looks Malignant. This is the new James Wan horror film. With Annabelle Wallis, I really want this to be good. I think it will be. James Wan is a really good director, and it's also like Annabelle Wallis is one of the actors, and she's the best part of some really shitty movies. And also a good part of the ensemble of okay to good movies like Tag, but like she was in The Mummy, and she was giving her all that was not good. She's also just gorgeous. But if you see like Peaky Blinders, she's great. She's one of those actors that you just wait for that movie. Hopefully this is the one. Shang-Chi and Legend of the Ten Rings. I actually need to buy my ticket when we stop this. I need to get my seat. I'm gonna go see that. Speaking of movies, however, I did get my ticket for Candyman. We are going next Thursday to check that one out, God willing, unless I don't sleep. But that probably won't happen. Candyman, I'm excited for it. Eyes of Tammy Faye, been over it before. Looks good. Time of the trailer. Last one I'm going to say is one that I have a weird history with. It was a Red Band trailer. You don't get those much in the theater, at least my theater very often. Antlers. This movie, I'm going to be honest with you. I saw this trailer for this movie, probably a different trailer, maybe the same. It's been first time I saw a trailer for this movie. This had to have been massively delayed by COVID. Because I first saw the Red Band trailer for this in front of Ready or Not. That was 2019. And it looks really good. I don't think the movie's bad or anything. I just think it probably got delayed a bunch. I like the director. I think it's Scott Cooper, the guy who did like Crazy Heart, which is this is a weird one, and Out of the Furnace. It's good, but it's written by Guillermo del Toro, so I'm like, yeah, I'm excited. It looks really good. It actually looks genuinely kind of terrifying, but like a cannibalistic human, like almost like a really messed up fairy tale. Almost reminded me a little bit of Pan's Labyrinth, where it's like Kerry Russell and she's a school teacher and she's trying to protect this little boy in her class who's being raised by like a cannibalistic deer human hybrid monster or something. With Jesse Plemons as like a cop who befriends her. It's a weird looking movie. Looks really good though. Messed up and kind of dark humored, but looks good. That's it. Was there trauma? No, there wasn't. So we'll be back later. I'll say with the movies. Paw Patrol the movie. That's the one. Talk about night and day. It actually, they left the door to our auditorium open, and I guess Paw Patrol the movie was starting in the theater across the street. So I heard an echo, and I'm like, "Is that the movie?" And then I heard like the distinctive voice of Chase, and I was like, "No, it's not. It's Paw Patrol." It's from the theater over. I'm actually looking forward to that. It's kind of a guilty pleasure. It's kind of one of those movies I kind of wake up to half nauseous at noon. That show, and I'm like, I'll watch the movie. So yeah, I'll be back later for that. I'm also gonna try to watch the Loud House movie tonight, maybe. Tomorrow we got The Protege and Reminiscence, and then Sunday we're talking Annette, and then also sometime this weekend, maybe Monday we'll do Vivo finally, because I've been putting that off too long. All right. That'll all be next time. Until next time, I'm Grand the Movie and TV Guy. I see it all, and I'm happy to share it with you. I love you all. Appreciate you all. I love you all. Class dismissed. I love you 3000. Be kind to one another. Go see The Night House. It's great. It may not be for you, but give it a shot. This movie's gonna get an F on Cinema Score. I bet you any or a D from Mass Audience. So what? So that's not to say it's a bad movie, because it's not. It's excellent. Anyway, all that being said, if you wanna give me a like, if you wanna give me a subscribe, if you wanna give me a bell. Don't know what it does, but whatever. A lot of you didn't like my Rift Trucks review, and honestly, in hindsight, I'm not very proud of the beginning of it. I kind of looked like an ass, but I appreciate the constructive criticism. Oh, and also, if you want to find me elsewhere, I am at, I'm on Grand the Movie and scratch that, reverse it, as Willy Wonka would say. I am at letterboxd.com, at Grand the Movie and TV Guy on letterboxd.com. Alright, thank you all. Take care. Go see The Night House. That's great. Bye.